Person asked me, hey, every day I feel like I will never find love. What do I do? It's tough waking up every day feeling like love is just slipping through your fingers, right? It's like everyone else is finding their person and you're stuck wondering, what about me? Why is this so hard? It's a heavy feeling and it can make you feel like love is this thing that's always out of reach. But here's something I've learned over the years. Love isn't what we've been sold in the movies or books. I fell in love in my 20s. I've been married for over 42 years. But I'll tell you, love isn't constant. It's not always fireworks or some grand romantic adventure. It changes, it evolves, and it doesn't always look or feel the way you expect. And honestly, that's a good thing. Because real love is about showing up, about growing together, and sometimes about just being there for each other when life gets tough. Now, if you're searching for love because you feel lonely, that's a different conversation. It's so important to understand that love and loneliness aren't the same thing. I've known people, and been there myself in all my years, who were in love and at times still felt lonely. It's possible to be surrounded by people and still feel that emptiness. And you can also be single and not feel lonely at all. Loneliness comes from something deeper, and it's important to work on that separately from just finding love. Otherwise, if love does come along, that loneliness might still hang around. And here's something we can't ignore. Talking to a therapist or a counselor can be a big help. If you're feeling like you're drifting, like no matter what you do, you can't shake that feeling of loneliness or emptiness, don't skip this step. Sometimes there's stuff going on underneath the surface that's hard to figure out on your own. A therapist can help you unpack those feelings, help you get to the root of what's really going on. And that's not a weakness. It's one of the strongest things you can do for yourself. Therapy can open up doors you didn't even realize were locked. It's worth considering if you're feeling stuck. So, what can you do in the meantime? Well, you can start living the life that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. And I don't mean that as some vague platitude. I'm talking about real, tangible things. Think about what makes you happy, what gets you excited. Is it learning something new, hanging out with friends, traveling, even something small like walking through your neighborhood or picking up a hobby or having the world's best apple every morning? When you start filling your days with things that bring you joy, that feeling of lack or frustration starts to fade. You're no longer sitting there waiting for someone else to come along and complete you. Instead, you're building a life that feels full on its own. And trust me, when you're living like that, love has a funny way of finding you. It sneaks up on you like a crack in the sidewalk, and you're just walking along doing your thing. And suddenly, boom, there it is, right when you least expect it. And I know that sounds like a bit of a fairy tale, but it's not magic. It's about energy. When you're in a good place with yourself, when you're doing things that light you up, people notice. You start to attract others who are drawn to that spark, to that happiness that comes from within. So if you're feeling like love is just out of reach, maybe the best thing you can do is stop searching so hard for it. Work on the loneliness if you're feeling that way. Talk to someone if you need help unpacking those feelings, but focus on you. Build that life that makes you feel alive and let love come to you when the time's right. What do you think? Have you ever noticed that when you stop looking so hard for something, it has a way of showing up on its own? Let me know if any of this resonates with you, and I've put more information in the video description. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, just put it in the comments for me. If you want to keep learning, hey, I got more videos. You can watch this one next. Until next time, this is Steve. See ya.